Have you ever looked at a parade of world flags and noticed a color is conspicuously missing? Join me as I dive into why purple is so rare in flags. Can I uncover the secrets behind this colorful mystery? It's a fact. Purple almost never shows up on national flags. That's weird, right? Because purple is stunning. It pops. It feels royal, powerful, and even a little bit magical. So why is it almost completely missing from our most important national symbols? I'm chasing one big idea: the price of color changes history. And for most of human history, purple wasn't just expensive. It was astronomically, mind-bogglingly costly. The most famous shade, Tyrian purple, came from a tiny gland in the Murex sea snail. It took over 10,000 snails to produce a single gram of dye. The process involved days of letting the snail glands rot in vats of stale urine. It required skilled and very, very smelly workers. The stench was so bad, dye works were banished to the outskirts of cities. Roman and Byzantine emperors reserved it for themselves. Strict laws, known as sumptuary laws, protected it. For anyone else, wearing it could mean a fine, or even death. Ordinary people couldn't afford it, and they weren't allowed it anyway. Now, think about what a flag needs to be. They need to be made in large quantities. They need to be bright and instantly recognizable from a distance. And above all, they need to be durable against the elements. Sunday wind, salt. If you're a kingdom or navy paying by the yard, you choose colors that are affordable and last. Red came from cochineal insects or madder root, blue from the widespread indigo plant, black from carbon or iron oxides, and white was achieved simply by bleaching cloth in the sun. These were cheap, abundant, and relatively sun-stable. Purple, not so much. Then, in a stroke of accidental genius, chemistry changed everything. In 1856, a teenage chemist named William Perkin was trying to synthesize quinine from coal tar. He failed, but his failed experiment produced a brilliant purple sludge. He called it mauveine. Suddenly, purple went mainstream. The mauve decade was born, and everyone could afford the color of kings. So why didn't flags follow? By the time purple was cheap, it was too late. Reason 1. Tradition. Flags are incredibly conservative symbols. They represent history, identity, and continuity. Most nations simply don't change their colors on a whim. The great age of flag design, the era of tricolors and crosses, was already set when cheap, bold, practical pigments mattered most. Reason 2. Lingering practicality issues. Even after Perkin's discovery, many early synthetic purples were notoriously fugitive. They faded faster in the sun than the tried and true reds and blues. And from far away, on a battlefield or at sea, you need high contrast colors that read clearly. Purple, sitting between red and blue, can sometimes appear murky. So, who actually uses purple today? Let's play a quick game. How many of the 193 UN member states do you think have purple on their flag? The answer is just 2. And even then, it's barely there. First, we have Dominica. Its flag, adopted in 1978, features a Ciceroo parrot, a species native to the island, with actual purple feathers on its head and breast. Then there's Nicaragua, whose flag features a tiny rainbow in its coat of arms with a purple stripe. The flag of El Salvador has the same detail. That's basically it for national flags: 2 tiny hints in a rainbow, and 1 magnificent bird flex. In the formal language of heraldry, purple did have a name: purpure. It was considered a standard color, but its real-world cost meant it was rare but real. This brings us to the final reason: symbolism. For centuries, purple meant royalty, rarity, and imperial authority. When modern nations were forged in the fires of revolution, they explicitly rejected the symbols of the old monarchies. They wanted people power, not palace vibes. They chose red for blood and sacrifice, blue for sky and freedom, green for the land, and gold for hope and prosperity. Purple just didn't fit the new narrative. But could that change? Absolutely. The old barriers are gone. Modern pigments are perfectly stable and light-fast. Digital printing and manufacturing mean printers are perfectly precise. And if there's one thing designers love, it's a rule to break. A bold redesign could pick purple on purpose to symbolize modernity, creativity, or even to reclaim that feeling of royalty for all its people. It's a stunning color, just waiting for its moment. If you like this color mystery, I've got a whole spectrum of other hues to chase. Subscribe, and let's decode the world one shade at a time.